Don't worry about those who snicker behind your back. Worry more what else they're doing behind your back, because say or laugh at whatever you will about Donald Trump, at least he told these otherwise groveling European phonies what he thought about them to their face. That might not be protocol, but it was unprecedented, and they ain't happy. The first president to state publicly what at least 3 of his predecessors had tried and tried to address privately, namely that most of his NATO colleagues were deadbeats. 28 of them woefully behind on paying their fair share to keep up NATO defenses. And they laughed, and they snickered, and they made the guy whose country is picking up the slack seem like the fool. Only he wasn't. They were. They just weren't aware they were being caught on camera, looking like the blatant phony hypocrites they were. President Trump, very aware, quite aware he was being caught on camera, pointing out the cheap, let the U.S. take care of it, malcontent ingrates they were. He told them to their face, and for that, the French are getting their pastries in a knot. Well, sacre bleu who? And French President Emmanuel Macron, manly way to deal with this is an intense handshake in some sort of a macho battle for one-upmanship. Macron later said that his goal was to show the U.S. president that he would not be pushed around. So I guess the goal was to break the 70-year-old's hand. That'll show him, Mr. Tough Guy. Are you kidding me? Just picture if Winston Churchill had done something like that with Adolf Hitler. Squeezed the Fuhrer's hand so tight, he'd think twice about messing with Britain. I guess that would have stopped all of those aerial bombings. Incredible? What is French for get serious? And what is German for get over yourself? Chancellor Angela Merkel upset that the U.S. would not go along with a climate deal that every other Western leader had. Is this the same unified Europe that railed against a menacing dictator named Slobodan Milosevic? Right in their midst. But let the former Yugoslavian leaders' war crimes and Balkan terror linger for nearly a decade before Bill Clinton had to intervene to broker a peace agreement from half a world away. Now, you could be snide and say just another case of America coming to the rescue of a Europe that couldn't handle the latest monster in its own backyard, but that would be snickering, wouldn't it? Just like you could say, telling the Germans to their face, that they can be very unfair at trade, which they can, and they are. It's just not done except behind closed doors. Where U.S. presidents, at least in the past, have tried but repeatedly failed to get their European colleagues to budge, or to somehow accuse the president of abandoning our commitment to NATO when he was attending an event for NATO. I guess saying we will never forsake the friends who stood by our side isn't clear, or adding for good measure, and we will never waver in our determination to defeat terrorism isn't to the point. He stated it is his view, his way. God forbid it wasn't their way. And now they're suddenly shocked by a U.S. president who doesn't do things their way, or say things their way, or snicker and cajole, wink and lie their way. Hailed by a U.S. media that clearly likes their way than his way. A U.S. president who says out loud what other U.S. presidents have quietly implored behind closed doors. Enough. You know, that is Donald Trump's biggest sin. He dared to say enough. Enough with hearing you bitch behind our backs. I'm going to bitch right in front of your face. Enough with my walking with you. I'm taking a golf cart and just staring at you. Enough with my making nice in group photos. I'm going to shove my way up there, make this quick, snap the damn picture, and call it a day with you. Now, I guess that can be deemed rude, even boorish, but no more so than a supposedly macho statement in a ridiculous handshake that just makes the guy who, initiated it look foolish. No, the sin isn't that Donald Trump was the bull in this European chop. The sin, my friends, is the bull that for too long we had tolerated from this European chop. Enough. Good night.